How come business behind South African businesses' drive to thrive?
Welcome to the Entrepreneurial SME. I am Mabote. This evening we cast our focus on the biotech space and we take a look at a company called Dipalesa BioTech Lab. I'm joined by CEO Palesa Lephallo, who shares a journey of expanding her skill set outside the lab into the complex space of entrepreneurship. Let's take a look at this insight.
My name is Palesa, my surname is Lephallo, and we do cosmetics manufacturing. At Dipalesa BioTech Lab, we are a cosmetics manufacturing company. We are a research and development company where we assist small businesses and other privately owned brands with manufacturing. Our core focus is around research and development, where we develop and derive solutions for African skin types and hair types, and we also offer formulation services for small businesses that need their own formulas as well. So I've been in the space before as a consultant. I did chemical engineering and I was working as a consultant, so I was sitting in meetings and offices where I couldn't identify my own or my skin type in the spaces, and I started learning and seeing gaps that existed. To me, the African people were underserved. So I then thought, here's the space for me to go in. Small businesses were faced with a lot of trials and a lot of hurdles to get into the market. And I thought we could be, the bridge that lets them cross over. Our biggest goal right now for us is to put out our own personal brands out there. That's where I initially started. So we've got Esteem Essential Skincare, where we've targeted the whole brand around directing or solving skin issues for African skin types. We also have African Lily that is directed as well for our different hair types as well. So our biggest focus has been on that. For the past couple of months, we're trying to build up towards that and penetrating the market more. So the B2B part is part of our business as well, but it is not the main focus. I am learning to interact with other people. I'm learning to be social. I'm not really a social person. I'd rather be in the lab working on formulas every day, all day, but I need to go out there, meet people, network. Also just learning the dynamics and the language of business as well. It's been a challenge, but it's something that I've taken on head on every single day since I've been in business. I think the biggest highlight for me is my team members. The people that I sort of wake up to every morning and we meet in this space to start our day, to plan for the future. That for me has been the biggest highlight. To come to an office where women are excited to work, considering the high unemployment rate and the commitment that they show towards the business. For me, that has been the biggest highlight.
What a beautiful story, Palesa. Wow. Why though quit a job to go start a business?
It was never the intention. It was never the plan. I left the workplace to go join a business that failed. So it was really, really never the intention, but it was the opportunity to get into a different challenge.
So the business that failed was your motivation. You learned how they fail so that you don't fail.
Also, I think the biggest motivation was that I was literally backed in a corner with COVID at that time, because I quit my job during COVID. So I was backed in a corner and I really didn't have a plan. So the best option was for me to just get started with my own.
It's not that easy though, right? Because to start a business, you got to look at the numbers, you got to look at your lifestyle and stuff like that. So that decision would have had to take much more than just, let me just try something else.
Yes, I was caught between applying for a job or just starting. So I decided I'm just going to swim with the sharks and go with it.
In the clip, you also say that you had to learn the language of business. And I suppose you had to learn how to run a business. That's what you also mean. So far?
It's okay. Still difficult,
yeah.
Still challenging, but it's been a learning experience that is beautiful for me to experience every day.
Is it as tricky, as difficult, as awkward as people make it to look.
It is. Business is very difficult. The sleepless nights, the lonely journey. You can't really take everyone with you around it because it's the challenges and the experiences are for you to learn on your own. So it is true. It is very difficult.
How long were you an engineer for? And you still are, but I'm saying in the workspace.
I got to practice in that space for about 6 years before the opportunity came to join another business, yes.
On reflection, was that good grounding before studying Dipalesa?
It was because I can easily reference based on my encounters, the jobs that I've worked. I can easily say, oh, but I learned this quality control. I remember this, you know, and now I can easily adopt it into my business.
The clip shows me that most of your staff are women. Is it because of the industry you serve or because it's a deliberate act on your part to make sure that you bring your own up?
Majority of the business, I mean, the industry itself is occupied by women, but it wasn't out of intention. The plan is to include male in it as well, but a lot of male don't seem to be interested in the beauty space, but the intention is to include them as well.
Now, your services, you said, included research, product development, and producing your own very skin and hair care products, right, into the public.
Yes.
Now, this is not supposed to be a trick question. Have you figured out which one is best, B2B or B2C? Because sometimes they can conflict, they can mess you up in business.
Yeah, I think they both have their own pros and cons, but the best today is B2C because you have control over what is it that you put out in the market. The trends change really fast in the space. So with your own brand, you're able to manipulate and change and literally keep up with the trends in the market. So for now, it is B2C, but B2B is the cash cow.
And yet, though, Palesa, B2C, you're competing with much bigger players out there. People who've been there for years with brands that have been solid for a number of years.
True, but are they all serving the African people?
Yeah.
You know, I still believe that African people are underserved. We still have an opportunity to introduce our own products to our own people, educate people more on hair products, educate them more on skin products. So I still see that opportunity within the space, and more especially in the research space where we are publishing more work around skin and hair products.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do you think we're still in this stage where we're the biggest buyers, but the producers are some other people, including foreigners?
Yes.
Is it because we don't have you who tells us more about what we need to know, or is it because we don't know business?
There is less of us, which is Palesa in this instance. If there was more of us, then it would be easy to educate the mass on the opportunities that exist. And because we are only getting into the space of cosmetics now, we are still learning about it. So there's still a huge gap for us to sort of like fill in. But because there's few formulators and the space in itself for formulating is sort of like limited as well. So there are so many complexities to it that a lot of people are still going to learn about it. So it's still going to take time for us.
In terms of the SMEs that you sell to, who are they? How do you find them? How do you reach that market?
Interesting enough, it's been a case of word of mouth when it comes to our business because I started out manufacturing for friends and family, and then the word spread. There's a girl that does this.
Yeah.
There's a girl that can create solutions for your skin problems.
Yeah.
So that is how people got to learn about who I am and what I do particularly.
We're going to take a break and come back. Talk about this. I want to talk about marketing, the most difficult part of any business. When we come back, we continue our conversation with Palesa Lephallo.